wish upon a star. Makes no difference who you are. Anyone you'd like to hear will come to you. Hello there. It's me again. Welcome to Wonderland. We're going to explain characters from Alice in Wonderland, starting with Alice herself. Alice is a little girl with a big imagination. She's also incredibly curious, a trait that leads her to follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole and into Wonderland. Having been raised in Victorian England, Alice is incredibly proper and well-spoken. She prides herself on her manners and her honesty, although the two can sometimes be at odds. Alice's attempts to share what she knows often result in her correcting people, which can come across as rude. Her knowledge also isn't of much use in Wonderland, where logic has been turned on its ear. Like her Wonderland rival, the Queen of Hearts, Alice has been shown to have a quick temper. She is, however, far better at reining in her temper and does not stay angry at anyone for long.
Did you know that?
Alice most likely comes from a wealthy family, as she references the privileges of the upper class, and her name means noble and kind.
Now you know.
This is Dinah. Dinah is Alice's cat and seemingly best friend. The two go everywhere together, well, except for Wonderland. Dinah is tan and peach with blue eyes and a pink ribbon. She's very fond of chasing mice, a fact that quite startles the dormouse. Here's the Cheshire Cat. The mysterious pink and purple striped Cheshire Cat is perhaps the craziest character in all of Wonderland, a fact he admits with pride. He's the only character in Wonderland who shows any real sympathy toward Alice, appearing often to help her find her way. But the Cheshire Cat has a cruel sense of humor and can quickly flop from being helpful to creating accidents that cause the vicious Queen of Hearts to aim her anger at Alice. The Cheshire Cat has the unique ability to appear and disappear at will, but he doesn't do it all at once. The giant smile permanently pasted across his face often lingers in the air long after the rest of his body is gone. This is Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter lives in Wonderland and can often be found hosting tea parties with his best friend, the March Hare. His favorite occasion to celebrate is his unbirthday, and he is incredibly fond of singing. Although he admits he rarely gets compliments on his vocal ability, the Hatter seems capable of bending the rules of what a normal person might consider possible, often pouring plates and teacups out of his teapot instead of tea, and even making a snack of a plate. He is loud and eccentric, quickly flopping back and forth between happiness and anger, but he can be quite charming as well and takes very quickly to Alice. The Hatter is never seen without his signature top hat, which features a card with the numbers 10/6 on it, and under which he has been known to hide any number of items, from a teacup to a present to the sleeping dormouse.
Did you know that?
The 10/6 on the Mad Hatter's top hat is not a fraction, but it's the price of the hat, 10 shillings and 6 pence, in the former currency of Britain. And the Mad Hatter has appeared in an attraction or the name of a shop at every Disney park in the world.
Now you know.
That's March Hare. Like his best friend, the Mad Hatter, March Hare is fond of drinking tea and hosting unbirthday parties. He also enjoys polite conversation. Although incredibly loud and often rude himself, the March Hare has no tolerance for rudeness in others. He particularly dislikes being joined by uninvited guests and grows angry when Alice talks before she thinks. In fact, the March Hare is very thoughtful in his own speech, often starting his sentences with a long "ah" as he gathers his thoughts. The March Hare is one of the few residents of Wonderland who doesn't seem to be afraid of the Queen of Hearts, a fact he demonstrates by happily screaming in her face. This is Dormouse. The sleepy dormouse is a friend of the March Hare and the Mad Hatter. He can usually be found sleeping in one of their teapots, although he has been known to sleep in other places too, like under the Hatter's hat. The dormouse wears a pink coat and bow tie with a purple vest, a white collar, and purple shoes. He is incredibly frightened of cats and has a tendency to sing the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat. The dormouse is very fond of jam. Applying it to his nose helps him fall asleep. This is the White Rabbit. In spite of displaying a constant fear of being late, the rather jittery White Rabbit is perhaps the sanest resident of Wonderland. He is also the one who leads Alice down the rabbit hole. The White Rabbit is neither polite nor rude. He is simply too busy to notice that Alice or anyone else is even around. The White Rabbit works for the Queen of Hearts and is careful to follow her orders closely, for fear of becoming the target of her wrath. When not on duty, the White Rabbit can be seen wearing his signature red coat and carrying his pocket watch. When on duty in the Queen's court, he wears a thick aqua ruffle around his neck and a white flag with a red heart on it.
Did you know that?
The White Rabbit explains that his pocket watch was an unbirthday present, but it is not known who gave it to him. And his watch always reads 12:25.
Now you know.
That's the Caterpillar. The Caterpillar is one of the more helpful characters Alice encounters in Wonderland. It is with his help that she learns how to grow bigger and smaller. The Caterpillar has a passion for recitation and grammar and tends to over-enunciate certain words when he speaks. He is one of the calmer residents of Wonderland, but he isn't entirely without a temper. He gets very angry when his height is mocked or when people fail to understand the hints he is giving them. The Caterpillar also seems to be rather forgetful, as he is unable to remember people from one meeting to the next. Here are Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Tweedledum and Tweedledee are a pair of twin brothers who wear schoolboy uniforms and propeller caps. The two enjoy reciting poems and telling stories. The brothers are playful and jolly, which can sometimes come off as a bit annoying. They enjoy having company and will always try to get their guests to join them for a game. The two also have the ability to multiply. Oh, here's the Queen of Hearts. The feisty Queen of Hearts is the most dangerous resident of Wonderland. She suffers from immense mood swings, quickly flopping from content to enraged. And her favorite punishment is to behead those who have offended or angered her. The Queen's temper is well known through Wonderland, and she seems to revel in her reputation. She encourages the cheering of the crowds when she orders a beheading and often warns people that if they displease her, they will lose their heads. While the Queen does display a fondness for playing croquet, as long as she doesn't lose, her only true soft spot seems to be for her husband.
Did you know that?
Lewis Carroll, the author of the book Alice in Wonderland, famously called the Queen of Hearts a blind and aimless fury. And the Queen of Hearts threatens to have someone's head removed 14 times during the movie Alice in Wonderland.
Now you know.
Here's the King of Hearts. The soft-spoken King of Hearts is the husband of the Queen of Hearts. He's far smaller than she is and tends to let her rule the kingdom. The King of Hearts' main goal in life seems to be pleasing his wife and keeping her temper at bay. The king doesn't speak up often, so when he does, the queen listens. He is one of the few people in Wonderland capable of calming the queen down. The king has also shown a particular fondness for trials and likes to see things done in proper order. And here are the card soldiers. The card soldiers are the loyal servants of the Queen of Hearts. They do her bidding without question, possibly because they fear her. When the queen plays croquet, the cards act as the archers, moving around to ensure the queen wins the game. The cards also act as guards, escorting the queen's enemies and prisoners where they need to go. But the cards are not without flaws. They accidentally plant white roses instead of red roses, and then try to hide their mistake by painting the white roses red. It is the card soldiers' hope to fix the problem before the Queen of Hearts finds out and beheads them. Oh, brother. And those are all the characters from Alice in Wonderland. Join me next time, and we'll have a perfect time with characters from the Aristocats.